Lewis Hamilton isn't one to stay quiet when the pressure's on, and after a fiery Miami Grand Prix weekend, he's done holding back. In a moment that sent shockwaves through the Ferrari garage, Hamilton fired a subtle yet sharp response to team boss Frédéric Vasseur, reportedly telling him to calm down, and just like that, the narrative shifted. While the 7-time world champion has been the center of endless headlines, mostly about when or if he'll finally tame the unpredictable SF25, Ferrari as an organization has somehow dodged the heaviest criticism. The Italian media, usually ruthless in their judgment, has been oddly restrained. The paddock, too, seems more fixated on Hamilton's struggles than Ferrari's strategic blunders or the car's inconsistencies. But Lewis has had enough of being the easy target. His words weren't just a clapback, they were a challenge, a message that he's not here to play scapegoat in Ferrari's internal chaos. If there was ever any doubt about Hamilton's willingness to confront the politics inside the team, Miami just erased it. The spotlight may be on Hamilton, but after this latest exchange, maybe it's time to ask, should the real heat be turned on Ferrari's leadership instead? We're only a quarter of the way through the 2025 Formula One season, but Ferrari's championship dreams already look like a fading mirage in the rearview mirror. They sit a staggering 152 points behind McLaren in the constructors' standings. Charles Leclerc is trailing Oscar Piastri by 78 points in the Drivers' Championship, and Lewis Hamilton is another 12 points further adrift. But here's the twist. Despite the numbers painting a damning picture, Ferrari has largely escaped the intense media heat. Once again, it was Lewis who dominated the headlines in Miami. Not Ferrari's performance, not their tactics, but the drama swirling around their star recruit. In the sprint, Hamilton delivered a masterclass, climbing from P7 to a podium finish in P3. He was the first to call for slicks, while others hesitated in damp conditions. A decision that proved genius as he scythed past a struggling Max Verstappen with a bold outside move. It was vintage Lewis. The paddock buzzed with talk that maybe, just maybe, Hamilton had turned a corner. But the Grand Prix brought everyone crashing back to reality. Starting 12th, Hamilton was once again placed on the back foot, this time thanks to a curious strategy call that put him on hard tyres, while Leclerc and the rest of the pack opted for the more aggressive medium compound. As temperatures refused to rise in his tyres, Hamilton was stuck in traffic, spending 5 laps trying to muscle past rookie Isaac Hadjar and another 16 laps staring at the rear wing of Esteban Ocon before finally being released into clean air after the Haas pitted. Ferrari's Miami GP strategy call turned into yet another episode of indecision and miscommunication, and Lewis Hamilton had front row seats to the chaos, while Charles Leclerc, on the softer compound, boxed early for hard tyres to run to the end of the race. The timing couldn't have been worse for him, or better for his teammate. A virtual safety car moments later handed Hamilton a golden opportunity. With the field crawling around at 40% of racing speed, Ferrari brought Lewis in for fresh tyres, allowing him to leapfrog nearly the entire midfield and emerge just seconds behind Leclerc. With much faster tyres underneath him, Hamilton began closing the gap to his teammate at a ferocious pace. Just 2 laps later, he was right on Leclerc's gearbox. That's when the team politics kicked in. "Am I just holding position for the rest of the race?" Hamilton asked over team radio, hoping for a green light to charge. Instead, he got the classic Ferrari shuffle. "I'll get back to you," replied his race engineer Riccardo Adami. Silence followed. 2 laps passed. Over 3 minutes of strategic limbo, before Adami returned with a head-scratcher. "Hold station and keep the DRS to Charles." Hamilton wasn't buying it. "Man, you guys," he said sharply, before twisting the knife. "In China, I got out of the way." A jab, not just at the decision, but at the double standards. Still getting no real answer, Hamilton fired off another sarcastic barb. "Have a tea break while you're at it. Come on." This entire saga played out over 4 long laps, during which Ferrari didn't even ask Leclerc for his thoughts. When the eventual order to swap the cars came through on lap 38, Charles complied silently, without a single word of resistance. As Lewis Hamilton had quietly warned, following his teammate for several laps while sitting on fresh rubber came at a cost. By the time Ferrari finally gave the green light to swap positions, the edge on Hamilton's tyres had already dulled, and Leclerc's hards had come into their own. Instead of pulling away, Hamilton found himself stuck in a stalemate. The golden opportunity Ferrari had stumbled into with the virtual safety car squandered. For 14 agonizing laps, Lewis toiled in clean air, unable to break free, unable to chase down the next car up the road, Kimi Antonelli, just a couple of seconds ahead. Then came the final twist in this tale of tactical misfires. With just 2 laps to go, Hamilton was was told to give the position back to Leclerc. It was salt in an already raw wound. To make matters worse, as the instruction was issued, Hamilton was also fed information about the approaching Alex Albon behind. His response, pure sarcasm dipped in frustration. "Do you want me to let him pass as well?" The message was loud and clear. He was fed up, and he wasn't alone. Post-race, Charles Leclerc also voiced his own frustration, especially over the time Ferrari took to make crucial decisions during the race. While the two drivers were expected to push forward together, they instead spent the Miami Grand Prix stuck in a cloud of hesitation and missed chances. In the end, 7th and 8th was all they had to show for it. Neither driver able to challenge Antonelli, who was well within reach, had the strategy been clear from the start. As the red flags of frustration rose in the garage, one thing was certain: the walls of the Ferrari hospitality unit weren't just sheltering a team. They were about to witness a storm. After a race weekend packed with strategy blunders, radio jabs, and tense team dynamics, you'd expect Lewis Hamilton to be fuming in the media pen, but instead, the 7-time world champion surprised everyone, greeting journalists with a grin and cracking jokes like it was just another day at the office. The whole Ferrari farce, he almost seemed amused by it. In fact, his light-hearted mood raised eyebrows. F1 veteran journalist Adam Cooper posted on X, "Lewis Hamilton was in an upbeat and chatty mood when we talked to him, said he enjoyed the race and especially the pace on mediums." It's hard to tell what was more astonishing, Hamilton's good mood after such a strategically botched Grand Prix, or the fact that Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur seemed to take the whole radio saga personally. Cooper added that Vasseur tried to douse any brewing flames by heading straight to Hamilton after the race and throwing a consoling arm around him. But behind the scenes, things were a little more complicated. According to Hamilton himself, he was the one doing the damage control. "Fred came to my room," Hamilton revealed, before adding with a smirk, "I just put my hand on his shoulder and said, 'Dude, calm down, don't be so sensitive.'" Then, in classic Hamilton fashion, he delivered the knockout line. "I could have said way worse things on the radio. You hear some of the things other people have said in the past. Some of it was sarcasm." His words were calm, but the subtext was sharp. While the world watched Ferrari unravel on live TV, Hamilton was not only biting his tongue, but also keeping his team boss from losing his cool. Whatever Vasseur's frustration was, whether it stemmed from Hamilton's on-air sarcasm or the embarrassing indecision from the pit wall, it's clear this wasn't just a typical debrief. And that's where the danger lies. Because when a team principal walks into a driver's room already riled up and the driver has to tell him to calm down, it begs a bigger question. Can Ferrari survive this season without imploding from within? And how long will Hamilton keep playing peacemaker in a team that can't even agree on who's really in charge? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.